Guys, I hate to break it to you. We might already have our first female president, right? The first female president could already be in office, okay? Because Joe Biden is essentially castrated, okay? That's the only way that I can frame it, right? The man is castrated. He needs to grow a set, okay? He needs to grow a set because he is allowing the Taliban to dictate the terms of our withdrawal, okay? Because last week, Biden came out and said unequivocally that we want to withdraw by August 31st, okay? But we're going to stay as long as we need to and potentially extend the deadline to get all Americans out. That's what he said last week. Now, the Taliban responds to that and says that a failure to withdraw by August 31st will provoke a reaction. We have the Taliban basically trying to give us a red line, right? They're telling the U.S., no. You don't tell us what to do. We tell y'all what to do. Y'all got to get out by August 31st or else, right? So listen, you understand what's going on here. The Taliban is giving the U.S., right, the most powerful military in the world, an ultimatum. Biden has not given the Taliban one ultimatum about anything, okay? About anything at all. He's handled them with kid gloves, acting like they're an ally, like they're a partner, like they're somebody that can be negotiated with. Obviously, they're not, right? Not at this point. They've proven that they can't be trusted. But, you know, Biden, for whatever reason, it just seems like he's scared. It seems like he's scared to make any type of direct threat to the Taliban, to tell them, no. We stay here as long as we need to get Americans out. We don't take orders from you, okay? And don't get me wrong, I get it. It's a delicate situation. You don't want the Taliban basically trying to go after Americans because the U.S. won't withdraw. But at the same time, in a situation like this, you can't negotiate from a standpoint of weakness, okay? The Taliban should feel incentivized to be like, no, let's just get the Americans out of here, right? Let's get them out of here so that they can leave, because it's clear as day that Biden's trying to get out, okay? This is why he's moving forward with the withdrawal, despite all the pushback from the media. It is clear that we're leaving, right? And the Taliban should know that. So they should be incentivized to actually get as many Americans out of the country as possible, so the faster we leave, the faster they will have full control over the country. You would think that that's how they'd be thinking, but they're not. Why? Because they know that Biden is weak. They can have their cake and eat it too, right? They probably feel like, hey, we can keep Americans here. This fool's still gonna leave anyways. Again, this is bruh, Trump, where you at? Right? Trump, where we need you. This is what the world is probably looking for right now. The world needs this, okay? This is what we need. Where you at? Right? Y'all remember when Trump clapped Soleimani? Okay? Y'all remember that? You know what Iran did in response? They said, we're going to rain down hell on the U.S., right? They're going to pay dearly for this. They fire some missiles into Iraq, and they fall in the dirt. Okay? You know why? Because they know they're not about that life, right? They know they're not about that life. That is strength, right? That is an example of strength, okay? We're missing that right now. And that's the biggest issue. So let's read a little bit more here about this ultimatum that the Taliban is giving the most powerful military in history. The Taliban was warning President Biden that extending the August 31st deadline to withdraw U.S. forces from Afghanistan as the administration struggles to evacuate American citizens and Afghan allies from the country would bring consequences. Now, guys, the current numbers is that we have evacuated about 4,000 American passport holders, okay? Now, total since August 14th, I believe estimates are between 50 and 70,000 people have been evacuated. Okay, now they believe that more than 10,000 or so Americans are stranded in Afghanistan. So basically what that means is that a vast majority of the people that we have evacuated are not Americans, right? We still could potentially have thousands, if not tens of thousands of Americans stranded in Afghanistan. So we still kind of got a long way to go, right? We still got a long way to go. We still have work to be done. We cannot leave any American behind, period. You remember when I was telling you guys about how this whole like situation reflects poorly on us in terms of how we help our allies, okay, and will we be there for them in their time of need? If we leave Americans behind, and let's say there are videos that come out that show that the Americans that got left behind, you know, bad things happen to them, we will literally lose all credibility on the world stage, right? If you leave behind your own people in Afghanistan and something happens to them, they get hurt, guys, we're done, right? We're on the international stage, we will become a complete joke. We're almost there, but we're not yet, okay? We still have a little bit of credibility, and how Biden handles this is going to determine how much credibility we keep. Again, we got a little bit, right? But Biden's handling of this, he has to get every American out. We have to, by all means necessary. We have to, okay? Quote, it's a red line. President Biden announced on August 31st that will withdraw all their military forces. So if they extend it, that means they're extending occupation while there's no need for that, Taliban spokesperson Sahel Shaheen told Sky News. Quote, if the U.S. or U.K. were to seek additional time to continue evacuations, the answer is no, or there would be consequences, he said, adding that extending the deadline would create mistrust between us. Prolonging the occupation, he said, will provoke a reaction. Boy. Again, guys, you have a ragtag group of dudes in the Middle East that basically are using all our weapons, okay? Telling the most powerful nations in the world, y'all got to get the hell out of here or there will be consequences, right? We don't care if y'all get all the Americans out. And guys, I mean, I've covered this before. I've shown you guys there are reports of the Taliban not cooperating, right? They're not letting Americans into the airport, right? People are scared, okay? They're not cooperating. So Biden assuming that they're cooperating is foolish. And he's trying to negotiate from a standpoint, assuming that they're cooperating. And again, to me, it's a fool's errand, right? So anyways, so Biden yesterday gives a press conference, and this is basically his response to the Taliban giving the red line. Take a look.
First, on evacuation, we agreed that we will continue to our close cooperation to get people out as efficiently and safely as possible. We are currently on a pace to finish by August the 31st. The sooner we can finish, the better. Each day of operations brings added risk to our troops, but the completion by August 31st depends upon the Taliban continuing to cooperate and allow access to the airport for those who we're transporting out and no disruptions to our operations. In addition, I've asked the Pentagon and the State Department for contingency plans to adjust the timetable should that become necessary. I'm determined to ensure that we complete our mission, this mission. I'm also mindful of the increasing risks that I've been briefed on, and the need to factor those risks in. They're real and significant challenges that we also have to take into consideration.
All right, so Biden's basically saying, well, we're dependent on the Taliban, okay? We're depending on their cooperation, right? You have a sitting U.S. president sitting here saying our withdrawal deadline is contingent on cooperation from the Taliban, whom we spent 20 years fighting to try to, establish a new government, right, that's backed by us, that they literally destroyed in like 2 weeks. We're depending on these people to help get Americans out. That's what Biden's saying. And Biden's also talking about how he's concerned about being there too long and the increased risk of a terror attack from other terrorist groups that are not necessarily friendly with the Taliban on the airport in Kabul. So basically, again, Biden's talking about being scared. Okay? This is weakness. He said we got to pull out because we're scared. That's what he's saying in a nutshell, right? And he's saying that, well, we're on track to finish by August 31st. Now, some of his security advisors and other fellow Democrat politicians are saying,
stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
You know what I'm saying? They're not so sure if that's the case, if we'll actually be able to finish by August 31st. So it will be interesting to see if we don't get every American out by August 31st, what is Biden going to do? He says they have contingency plans, but the Taliban is like, no, there are no contingency plans. We got a red line. Y'all got to get out. So is Biden going to fold to the Taliban? Or is he's going to actually grow a pair and stay there until every American is out? Okay? So that remains to be seen. But what we do know is that Biden's ratings are free falling. Okay? Remember, I've covered this before, guys, but I got to cover it again because they fell even lower this time. This time they're at historic lows. Okay? Let's read here. Biden's approval rating continued to take a nosedive over his handling of the Afghanistan evacuation, with another national poll showing him falling 10 points with the approval rating now well below 50%. 41% of Americans approve of the job the president's doing, and 55% disapprove, according to USA Today's Suffolk University poll published on Tuesday. Okay, guys, 41% of Americans now approve of the job the president is doing. This is an all-time low for Biden, right? And that's why I try to tell you guys, this is the power of the media, because the media is going after Biden negatively, right? They're not handling him with kid gloves, the same way that the Biden administration is handling the Taliban, because they're actually criticizing Biden fairly. All of a sudden, American people are educated on the disaster that is the Biden administration. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that American people would not agree with all this? Okay? See, again, this is why the mainstream media, they're so important. They're so influential. Okay? They have control over what the populace thinks, because most people are not informed, guys. They get informed by the Jake Tappers, the Don Lemons, the people on MSNBC. That's who they listen to. And when you listen to those people, you're generally going to be uninformed because they have an agenda, right? Their agenda is to protect the establishment and the DNC, right? That's their agenda. Biden's poll ratings began falling below 50% last week and days after the Taliban took over amid the U.S. military withdrawal. The abrupt takeover by the extremist group sparked chaos at Kabul's airport as thousands of Afghan civilians stormed the facility in a desperate effort to escape Taliban rule. The survey conducted Thursday through Monday found 60% of Americans now say the U.S. war in Afghanistan wasn't worth it. The poll found that 53% of Americans backed the decision to leave Afghanistan after 20 years of war, but 62% disapprove of how the Biden administration handled the evacuation. Quote, today, President Biden's overall approval has taken a turn for the worse due to his awful job performance rating on Afghanistan, said David Palagolis, director of the Suffolk Political Research Center. Yeah, man, it's because the media is actually covering it fair, right? That's why his approval rating is falling. Okay, so it's funny because the GOP is calling for him to be impeached, and I'm like, bro, I mean, look, I kind of agree, because we can't continue to have a madman in office who doesn't know what the hell is going on, who doesn't know what he's doing, who's destroyed his country, who's destroying our reputation on the world stage. We can't continue to do that, but at the same time, I mean, these guys, if the GOP cannot win in 2022 in the White House in 2024, you got to just throw away the whole damn party. Throw away the whole party. They are useless, okay? This is the layup that the GOP has and they need to take, right? This right here has been unfortunate for this country, but it's kind of been a godsend for the GOP, because up until this point, again, the media has been on the side of Biden, and they've been going whole hog against the GOP, which has not been easy for them to overcome. Now with this happening, with Biden botching this and the media going after him for this, bruh, if they don't win in 2022 and 2024, throw the whole party away. Biden is cooked. He's done. Okay, he's done. Right? After this, Americans will never forget this. This is going into history books, guys. It's going in history books. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.